Hello and welcome back to Women's Football Talk, the YouTube channel that brings you all the latest news and stories from around the world of women's football. Now before we get into today's video, make sure you smash that subscribe button and turn on the post notification bell so you never miss a video of ours. And what a frantic weekend it was in the WSL, from a classic game on Friday night between Manchester United and Arsenal to the drama of yesterday afternoon between Chelsea and Manchester City, and every other game had some goals and talking points from around the world of the WSL. So let's get right into it, and let's start off with the big talking point from this weekend, and that was of course Sunday's game between Chelsea and Manchester City from the Joy Stadium up in Manchester. Now Manchester City again started this game really brightly, got off to a fantastic start and caused Chelsea all sorts of problems in the opening 10 to 15 minutes, and they proved that with Chloe Kelly getting the opener after just 7 minutes. And then as the game went on, they just seemed to be dominating much of that first half and kept continuing to put pressure on Emma Hayes' side and causing them problems, which Manchester City always seem to do. They always make it hard for Chelsea when they are playing at home. I mean, just looking back to last season, Manchester City beat Chelsea at home 2-0, so it's always a tough place for Chelsea to go and get a result. One thing we noticed throughout this game though was Emily Heaslip, the referee. She kept giving out a lot of yellow cards for some unnecessary tackles and challenges that weren't really bookable offences in my eyes personally. There was some fouls that you can go, okay, maybe one or two here, that's understandable, but it seemed to be once she'd given out one yellow card, that's the motion for the game. Yellow cards kept being produced by her. Now obviously the big talking point in that first half was Alex Greenwood, who got sent off on 38 minutes. She had already been booked for a foul earlier on in the first half, and now this one she was sent off for time wasting. Now there was a new law brought in to the referees to kick down on time wasting, and that if teams are time wasting, the players should be booked. However, for this instance, myself and like many people I have seen online since and during the game, they were saying it's absolutely ridiculous because she wasn't time wasting. First of all, the City player that was still down, she took some time to get up and make sure she didn't need any treatment. Then on afterwards, you can see Greenwood scanning the field, looking upfield to see if any play was open. There wasn't any, and then she ends up passing it backwards to her defenders, and yeah, the referee didn't even give her a warning to say like stop with the time wasting. She just produced the second yellow card, and that really just changed the momentum of the game. It seemed to suck out the life of Manchester City and Chelsea for the rest of that first half, and it really did change everything. So you saw Leah Alexander and Chloe Kelly then booked for dissent towards that yellow card, and then at halftime Jules Rode was booked for kicking the ball away. So yeah, it really ruined the end of that first half of what was actually a really good game between those sides. As the game wore on into the second half, Chelsea made some changes. We saw Jelena Kankovic and Sam Kerr coming at halftime, and then Melanie Leopolds and Fran Kirby come on the hour mark. And then again, Man City were reduced to 9 players. This time Lauren Hemp was shown a second yellow card. Again, first one was for dissent about a corner that she thought should have been a goal kick, and then the second one for pulling down Lauren James, which then led to Man City boss Gareth Taylor being booked. So yeah, that was a lot of cards in that game. I think it was 11 in total with 2 red cards. It was just absolutely chaos. And then right at the end of the game, Guru Wrighton in the 6th minute of stoppage time managed to get Chelsea level to leave Manchester with a point, and they seemed to grow into the game a bit more towards the end, like the last 20-30 minutes. You could see their confidence come into it with the players that they didn't have in the first half. You could see Sam Kerr trying to get that bit more involved. Lauren James was still as threatful as ever when she was on the pitch that whole time, and I think it was rightly so in the end that Chelsea ended up drawing the game, and I think they will be happier out of the two sides after that one. So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see whether Manchester City do appeal Alex Greenwood's red card, and what the FA will say if she is unsuccessful and the reasoning behind it all, because I don't think it should personally took overly long. She said 20-30 seconds was what the commentary team was saying. However, players in the first half of matches don't time waste over free kicks. It's just ridiculous. If that was in the 89th, 90th minute, I could understand the referee booking her for time wasting if you look to kick the ball a couple of times and that, but you don't time waste in the first half, and that really just ruined the game and became the main talking point for half time and pretty much the rest of their game. Was the referee's performance, which shouldn't be the case. Right, on to the rest of the fixtures now, and on Friday night we saw Manchester United play Arsenal again, both sides in the top four from last season. They finished with a 2-2 draw. Stina Blackstenius opened the scoring for Arsenal after just 14 minutes of beautiful ball from Steph Catley. Allowed Blackstenius to leech onto it, get past Hannah Blundell, and then put it past Mary Earps to give them the lead. Then Manchester United levelled just before the half-hour mark. A mistake at the back by goalkeeper Sabrina D'Angelo left Leah Galton wide open for a goal, and she managed to pull Manchester United level. Again, referee giving out some cards early on in the second half. Katie Zellum getting booked for one foul, and then two quick bookings for Arsenal. Katie McCabe and Caitlin Ford both getting booked. So yeah, again, a bit of instance where the ref just like give it a bit of talking to the players rather than just dishing out yellow cards. I think just needed to get a better control on that. Then Manchester United took the lead with 9 minutes left in regulation time. Great long ball headed on by Hinata Miyazawa, and Melvin Millard did the rest as she managed to put it past D'Angelo to give United a 2-1 lead. And then in the 93rd minute, Chloe Lecas with her first league goal for Arsenal with a beautiful finish from the edge of the box, sends it top left hand corner. Nothing Mary Earps could do about it, and Arsenal lead with a point. Again, I think the point is really fair. There was times throughout that game both teams had showed their strengths through it. Both teams had like periods of dominance, and you could see them getting chances away. I can just think of Alessia Russo, Caitlin Ford having a couple of chances for Arsenal, and then Man United with Thea Garcia, Leah Galton, JC Ferreira producing moments of magic. So yeah, the top four from last season all taking a point off each other this weekend, and it's definitely I think good in that sense to leave the title race wide open in that sense, as we expect those four teams to be up there and about for the rest of this season. A look now at the rest of the fixtures that took place on Sunday in the WSL. West Ham beat Brighton and Hove Albion in the early kick-off. Goals from Kirsty Smith and Rika Ueki gives Rhian Skinner's side their first victory of the season. Tottenham Hotspur managed to beat Bristol City by 3-1. Olga Artinen, Martha Thomas and Evelina Sommerman with the goals for Tottenham in the first half, and then a penalty from Emily Thestrup just after the hour mark got Bristol City the consolation goal, but it wasn't enough to try and turn fate around for them. Leicester City managed to beat Everton by 1-0. Lena Petterman again on the score sheet. She scored on the 69th minute after a great ball from Sam Tierney, and Leicester continued their perfect start to the season and see themselves sitting at the top of the tree, picking up 6 points out of a possible 6. And joining them on 6 points is Liverpool. Matt Beard's side managed to beat Aston Villa in the evening kick-off on Sunday with Marie Hobinger and Natasha Flint scoring the goals there. So after two games, we definitely got a wide open Premier League season, obviously as we expected, and it's going to be an interesting match day 3 and the rest of this season to see whether we have similar refereeing performances like that one at Chelsea Manchester City with the time waiting, and how teams react to that, because obviously for Manchester City now they've had 3 red cards in their 2 games, with Layla Wahabi being sent off in the first game, and then Hemp and Greenwood being sent off in this game is obviously going to be very key. Let me know in the comments section below your thoughts on that red card situation and the games from the weekend as well in the WSL. And we'll be back on our podcast tomorrow, so make sure you check that out. We'll be talking more in depth about all the WSL games and everything else in the world of women's football, as well as looking ahead to the Champions League games as well. In the meantime, make sure you like and subscribe and turn on the post notification bell, and follow us on Twitter and on Instagram for all the latest news and stories from around the world of women's football. In the meantime, we'll see you soon.